And ladies and gentlemen, we're live with Mr. I don't know if that music helps us get up a little bit. Oh,
well, one thing.
Hey, I left the graphic on screen. What's
come
wrong
on,
with
get
me?
it off, bro. Fix it.
Oh my goodness.
So we're a little bit delayed. We're already late at 7-Eleven. 7-Eleven. That's a good luck time to start. We're supposed to be at 7 a.m., but this is actually pretty early for us.
Yes, yes.
Saulo and all his gadgets. He's got his. I mean, we're gonna have fun with it. What do you got? How do we do? Come on, let's get started.
Who built the cages, Joe? Who built the cages, Joe?
Let's talk about
Who built the cages?
Dude, I mean, it takes so much time for the finesse of this podcast, the music, the disco.
Yeah, the disco.
So sorry we're a little bit late this morning. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the ChrisCano Podcast Show. Featuring Saulo!
Woo! Man, and you said, before we started, you said this phrase, bro. You said this phrase, today's going to be edgy.
Today's going to be edgy.
And I think that's the question, bro. Why is it hard to talk about politics?
It's, so I'm gonna totally contradict myself. So I was like, man, I want to have a controversial episode, but I want it to be a good controversy. Is there such thing? Yes.
Yes. I told you the other day that being considerate, it's a godly attribute.
Yeah.
Is that the correct translation?
Yeah, I think so.
I think being considerate of other people,
Absolutely.
wherever they're at, it's a godly thing. But it's hard.
It's hard.
Because we're passionate about our ideas, about our opinions.
Yep.
That's why they say, don't talk about politics and religion. Why? Because we're passionate about those two things.
And because, we understand this. The joy of the Lord comes in the morning, Saulo, it's 7:12 a.m., and we're going to get controversial, right? So some people are like, man, it's going to be a great day, and they tune into the podcast, and they're like, dude, I'm going to fight somebody.
Are you a morning person?
Yeah, absolutely.
You are? Really?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, I'm
Just
tired
checking.
right now, but I am a morning person. I normally stay up the night before a podcast, and I'm looking stuff up, so I'm a little bit tired this morning, Saulo, but we're going to get through this.
If somebody can answer this question, why is it hard to talk about politics? You think it's going to get better after the elections or no?
Oh, we're getting into it this morning.
You
So
think,
the
you
question...
think it's going to be better?
Yeah, absolutely.
Really?
Yeah, everything's going to go back to normal. Yeah, we're going to talk about that today. Everything's going to go back to normal. All friends are going to reunite. We are going to unblock everybody that you have blocked over the last couple of months. We're going to make amends. We're going to...
Have you blocked anybody?
Yeah, absolutely.
You've blocked somebody.
Yeah, dude, there's a lot of people out there that are dumb.
You block people from your social media because of politics.
Let me make sure that I make this extremely clear. I don't just block people on social media. I block people mentally. You have to guard your heart. You got to guard your mind, right?
Dang, bro.
Man, I'm a fan of having healthy, controversial discussions, but you also have to guard your heart, man. You got to guard what you let in every day, right? Because they talk about this little tail that's on your brain. It's called your reticular activating system. It's your filter, and it's monitoring kind of what you like, what you want to hear, what you want to be. It's kind of like the thing on Facebook. I was sharing with some of my friends the other day that every ad that I see on Facebook right now is a vote for Trump ad. And I'm like, how does Facebook know? How do they know what I like, Saulo?
They're monitoring.
They're monitoring, man. So your
they
brain
know
is
what
doing the same thing. Your brain is monitoring what you like and what you don't like. So you got to be careful what you listen to.
Have you thought about that? Because you favor one politician.
Yeah.
You think that everybody's voting for them because that's what your feed is being fed.
Yes.
And then you're like, maybe the other side is also feeling the same thing.
I have come to the realization that we are not going to win 100% to 0. There will be some other people on the other side. But before we jump right into it, Saulo, you just want to go right in, bro.
Yes, sorry.
We got to thank our sponsors, bro.
Oh, that's true.
Our sponsor this morning is Menudo.
Menudo. The band or the
food?
The food.
Just the
okay.
food. No in particular restaurant at all. Just the food. Menudo is sponsoring us. Thank you, Menudo.
Thank
this
you.
weather.
Thank you for what you've done for us.
Thank you for what you've done. Thank you for warming me up. Thank you for solving a lot of fights in my family.
Yeah. You like menudo?
Absolutely.
Really?
I like menudo, right?
What do you prefer, menudo or pozole?
Oh, menudo.
Menudo.
Yeah.
Okay, what type of pozole have you eaten? Red or white?
Red.
Oh, have you tried the white?
I didn't even know that's how you categorize pozole, red or white.
Yeah, there's different.
Well,
was that racist?
It's controversial.
That was
for
racist.
Sure.
Chinese or white?
Menudo. So, what's your favorite part of menudo?
The pozole.
Hominy.
The hominy. Pozole.
Hominy.
Pozole is hominy.
It is?
Yes.
Oh, then I like hominy the white.
Hominy the white.
Okay, so do you eat menudo with a spoon or with a corn tortilla?
Both.
Both. Why?
Well, to us old school Mexicans, the tortilla is the spoon and the fork and the knife.
Exactly.
You know this.
You got to have at least 10 tortillas, otherwise I need a spoon, right? So
Yeah.
you got to get it. You scoop it with the corn tortilla. You get it all over your shirt, but who cares?
Does Mama Rosie make menudo?
Oh, you better believe it.
Really?
You better believe it.
Does she make mole?
She makes mole, right? And also caldo. So are you a caldo or menudo person?
I'm a pig. Both. I'm a pig. I'm a marrano.
We were having this question the other day. We were saying, now that it's cold weather, what's your cold weather meal? And of course, in Texas, everybody said chili. I'm like, man, where are my menudo, my caldo? I mean, this is the weather.
Yeah. for menudo. Have you eaten menudo?
Dude, not only have I eaten menudo, our dogs have eaten menudo.
This
Were
is
you
a-
the family where you make so much menudo that you probably eat like 1/5 of the pot, right? So the night you make menudo, you eat 1/5 of the pot. The other 4/5 goes into the refrigerator. And what happens to menudo in the fridge? It turns into a Jell-O mold, right?
Wow.
And then you just plop it, you shake it like that, you plop it right into the dog dish, and the dogs are having menudo the next day. They're having a menudo Jell-O dish bowl. But yeah, bro, everybody eats menudo when you make menudo.
I don't know if I
Everybody-
started craving that or I don't know. I don't know.
Everybody
It just
eats menudo.
felt
whenever.
weird.
Okay,
But anyway.
so we have a good show this morning. We're going to talk about some of the things that are going on right now, Saulo. I posted something that actually inspired this podcast this morning. So the podcast was supposed to be about relationships and everything else, and we couldn't help it, Saulo. We couldn't help it. Tuesday is coming up quickly. We got to talk about what's going on. I posted something the other day. Actually, I've been posting something the other day consistently, and it is with me holding this sign, Vote the Bible. Saulo, and can you believe...
That's controversial
Can
now,
you
bro.
believe
I can get
that some people are offended? And I'm wondering, okay,
Yeah.
who's offended? If I post a photo saying vote the Bible, are Republicans offended or Democrats? How do they know I'm talking about?
Yeah, I know.
I don't know.
It's like they say when you see an American flag on your yard, you can tell who they're voting for. Isn't that weird?
Isn't that weird? Right? Well, some people, on the other side, when they have an American flag, and if they're kneeling in their front yard, I can tell who they're voting for. Right?
Wow. Yeah.
So you gotta.
Hey,
yeah,
look at this guy. Palapas tortilla soup for the quick fix.
That's my cousin Adrian.
I know.
Adrian, I got to talk to you offline. I got to talk to you offline about your refinance. Okay? Catch
Please.
me offline. Okay. So, also, we have to make sure that we also thank another one of our sponsors.
Okay.
It's important that we mention them, El Típico. Now, El Típico doesn't know they're sponsoring today's show. But I'm going to start just giving them credit because I'm hoping they start sponsoring our show. Okay.
Reverse psychology.
Reverse psychology. So
Got
thank
it.
you, El
Early in the
Típico,
morning.
for sponsoring today's show. We were talking about this also the other day at El Típico. Right now on the Sunday Express, it is buy one, get one free for the number 1 or the number 2 plate. That is, of course, the beef enchiladas, the puffy taco. And so growing up on the southeast side of San Antonio, we would go to church on Sunday morning, right? And we're going to get further into this in this discussion, but we would go to church on Sunday morning, and then you, of course, what do you do after church? You go eat. And so when you're a family of 6 and you know that there's a buy one, get one free coupon in the Sunday paper, Saulo, what do you think we would do before we go to El Típico? We would go steal 3 newspapers out of 3 front yards. So I'm like a 10-year-old in a minivan. My dad would go down a neighborhood right next to El Típico. We would open the sliding door. I would run out, and I'd grab the paper, and I'd run back in. And we would do that 3 times. Can you believe that?
Bro, that's the reason for the wall. People like those type of
Yes.
Mexicans, that's the reason for the wall.
And
we need 2 walls
And,
right
and the right thing to do would have been if I would have clipped out the coupon, thrown the newspaper back, but we didn't. We would just take the whole paper, bro. And anyways, we would go pay for 3 meals, and we would eat on 6 of us. So thank you, El Típico, for the coupons, not just for your amazing
This
food.
is for those religious people, this is a prophetic word that you're giving
you.
because maybe El Típico will become típico for...
Típico.
Bro, isn't that crazy technology? Look at what they're doing now.
It's absurd.
It's giving us, what do you call it?
The caption.
Captions already.
Yeah, so this podcast tripped me out. So I'm watching the podcast on my computer here, and it's giving us a caption. Okay, so we're going to talk a little bit about, why it's hard to talk about politics. So as we're going through, if you guys wouldn't mind liking, sharing, tagging some friends.
Yeah.
We're going to start doing this probably on a weekly basis. Right now, we're doing it bi-weekly, every other Friday. This is a big one, though. Tuesday morning's coming up quickly, man. What's happening on Tuesday?
Election
Day.
Big Tuesday.
Big Tuesday. The fact that you guys didn't know that, and that you're my friend on Facebook, we got problems.
Have you voted?
Have you? Of course.
Oh,
I
yeah, you
voted.
did vote, yeah.
Now, so we're going to talk about early voting. Have you voted?
I haven't voted.
Are you you're a Tuesday guy?
Yeah, I'm a Tuesday guy. I'm
Why?
a Tuesday guy.
You like the energy?
Yeah, I love the energy. I love the excitement. Even though the excitement this year is different, I love the excitement.
Why is it? What do you mean it's different? How is it different?
Because hearing you when we talk about politics, sometimes like you think our candidate's gonna win, and one day you're like yes, and then one day you're like, I don't think so, bro. And then and then I talk to Greg, and then Greg's like, nah, I don't think so. And I don't know.
Dude, I'm messed up. I'm messed up right now. Well, okay, first off, how do I work these buttons, man? Okay, so I got to make sure that that's up. And
Who
then,
built the cages, Joe?
Let's talk about what
Who
we're
built the
talking about.
cages,
Let's
Joe?
talk about.
so
Steven, thank you for logging on, Steven.
there's been a lot of exciting things that have gone on. So this is probably
built the
so
cages,
Saulo
Joe?
gets
Let's
to
talk about what
Who
we're
built the
talking about.
cages,
Let's
Joe?
Saulo
talk
puts these sound bits on these buttons, and I'm going to do my best because last podcast it was come on, man. Do we still have?
Come on,
Oh, we still have the button. Come on, man. All right. So, guys, sorry if I get
sorry,
annoying with the buttons, but we're going to keep the buttons going. There's a lot that's gone on in the last 2 weeks that we got to cover. First and foremost, Amy Coney Barrett.
Confirmed.
Confirmed, right?
You would think that feminists, minorities, would be happy for her.
Absolutely not. Weird, right?
Weird
You
season.
are, Saulo, you're the
season.
person that tries to make sense out of politics. And I love that about you. I love that inside of your body. And so, and although you're cynicist in a lot of regards, you still have hope. You still have hope that
Dang,
whenever
brother.
the Democrats or the liberals say something about, man, we need more of this, more, you actually believe it, not knowing that they're just trying to defend themselves in enough. I love that about you, bro.
Yeah,
God bless
I
your
love my
spirit. Bless your
naivete.
spirit, bro.
I like it.
Bless
Yeah.
your spirit. You know, Trump said something kind of to your regards. He said, you know what I should have done? I should have run saying I'm anti-wall, so that the other side would have said,
That is
no,
true.
we're going to have a wall. We're going to have a wall, right? So,
Yeah. Have you seen that meme that says that Trump cured cancer?
no.
And then the other side saying, you know what? We want our cancer back. We want our hair
Oh, my
falling off.
goodness.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
it's
the way
unreal.
politics
Unreal.
is. I know it's unreal.
So
It's weird.
before we start talking about left and right, blue and red and everything else, we got to understand one thing first and foremost. We're all human beings. We're all children of God, Saulo. And, you know, I posted something the other day saying that, you remember the days when we were all against the government?
Yeah.
Those were the good days,
Yeah,
bro.
yeah,
We all
yeah.
complained about politics. We all complained about politics. And now, you know, we are siding with our politician. We're siding with our party, and we're going to war against each other. So,
You know what the problem is? Let me tell you one of the problems. It happens in religion and happens in politics. This is what I hate. That when I say I'm against a particular issue, it sounds like I'm against the person with that issue.
okay.
You know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
for example, if you like a lowrider car, right? And if I say, guy, bro, I just don't like lowrider cars, you're going to feel like I'm hating on you, even though I'm hating on the issue or
We
on
just
the
lost
car.
our Hispanic audience, just so you know. I don't hate lowriders. I support lowriders.
Did you remember the magazine? Is it still out there?
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
It's still out there?
Yeah, it's still out there.
Oh, wow. Lowrider magazine. I used to
Yeah.
collect those.
So
Anyway.
we're sponsored by Lowrider Magazine. Thank you,
Lowrider.
Lowrider and El Típico.
Why do No, I was going to say racist jokes.
Okay,
but no.
so speaking of my fellow Mexican Americans, you know, Trump is up right now. We got a lot of the Mexican vote. Believe it or not, you know, I was trying to understand.
Why do you say he's up?
Because, dude, Mexicans are entrepreneurs. Mexicans
But you
are
say
entrepreneurs.
Trump is up in the polls?
And yeah, that's, well, we're not even going to get into polls and the accuracy of polls, but if the polls are real, the polls in regards to Hispanic voters that are getting out, he is up. They're saying that he's polling better than ever with the Hispanic community right now.
Okay, okay.
And in regards to the fact that the Hispanic community are entrepreneurs, Exhibit A, Exhibit B. A, B, right? So B is voting.
and we got our wall.
Absolutely, we have
got our own wall.
Okay, so we are going to talk this morning. We're going to talk a little bit about what is keeping us from talking about politics. Why does the sign vote the Bible and some of these Instagram posts that I've been putting out offend everybody? Now, understand this. I'm an entrepreneur, Saulo. I run a business. You know, you run a business.
Yeah.
We're a couple of business owners, and a lot of individuals are, you know, they ask me the question, like, aren't you worried about the audience that you're losing? Aren't you worried about, you know, how people think on the other side? I want to talk about why you should care or why it shouldn't matter. Okay, so self-censorship. A lot of people are preserving their business. They're preserving how other people view them. And I'm wondering, when did we get here? When did we get to the point where we can't have healthy discussions about why you think this way, why I think this way, and why we can't just carry on with our own opinions?
Yeah.
Why do you think we're at this point where we are self-censoring? We don't want to lose business. I know I just said is one.
We're afraid. I think we're afraid.
What are we afraid of? If I tell you, if you're, try to, oh man, this is going to be a good exercise.
Okay, go.
Try to
Let's go.
pretend that you're a Democrat and I'm a Republican this morning.
Sorry. Sorry.
Okay,
continue.
so, you know,
I'm a Democrat.
I post
Okay.
something and I'm talking about my conservative beliefs, right? Why are you offended?
Because I believe that back here, I think that one day you're going to try to impose what you believe on me.
Okay.
And I'm going to have to, they're going to change the laws so that I'll have to live according to what you want.
Okay.
That's,
So,
and then I'm afraid that your people or your side is going to go against my side.
well, that's been has that not been since the beginning of politics? I mean, so why this election is it so different? Like, I mean, that's always been the case. I mean, when we talk about left and right, that's going all the way back to, you know, Abe Lincoln, right?
Yeah.
So why all of a sudden is my imposition of our beliefs on the conservative value affecting so many Democrats?
Media.
Media is making it worse.
Bro, for example, remember when you were in school, right? And you would pass by somebody, right? And like, oh, it just went like that, right?
Bump me.
Right? And then
Yeah.
I did wrong because I didn't notice it, or it was your fault. Doesn't matter. But everybody, fight, fight, fight. And you started fighting because everybody started
Yeah,
yelling.
they're telling you got to fight.
Yeah, you got to fight. And you're like, oh my goodness, I got to hit him because he hit me. Or I don't care if it was a mistake or I don't know. But we got to fight because they're telling us to fight.
Now, was that fight good for your reputation or bad for your reputation? What would that do for that kid? So he's being spurred on to fight. He gets in the fight. And then what happens for the next, 7 months?
If he won, it looks good on him. If he won.
I'll tell you what, man, get into a fight. Every now and then it's good to know that you still stand for something. You still believe in something. But
Steven says this. Some people can't differentiate between being subjective or objective.
That's actually really powerful.
Beth.
Beth says that's a great book, Politics According to the Bible, written by Wayne Grudem in 2010. I got to read that. I actually didn't know there was an actual book according to the Bible. I got to apologize. Saulo, you're talking about media. I posted something the other day, and I took it down, right? I took it down.
You took something down.
I took something down. I posted something, and then I took it down, which is really kind of against what I believe in, but I was wrong. And
you were wrong or because you were being considerate?
I was wrong.
Oh, yeah, I got it.
Consideration is usually like number 4 or 5. So here's the first photo that I posted. And I I thought it came from a credible source. That credible source was Trump Jr. He posted this on Twitter. And, I was like, oh, my goodness. Ice Cube and 50 Cent are wearing Trump hats. It looks like they're at some, basketball event. And I was like, this is going to be a bad day for Democrats, right? And I was all jazzed up. I'm like, dude, people are, the silent majority is coming out, Hollywood and everybody that we've been waiting for. If you're a conservative, you're waiting for the media, you're waiting for Hollywood, you're waiting for, somebody to come out and say something against the opposition, which is normal Hollywood is liberal, Democrat. So this photo got me excited, Saulo.
This one, right there.
The right one. Okay, so what happens about 2 hours later? I get fact-checked. My inbox gets flooded. Here's the real photo of what this was. They aren't wearing Trump hats. I thought they were
I was so proud of you that I thought you brought it down because you were being considerate.
No, Saulo, it was wrong.
Because you were wrong.
I cannot share fake news. So here is one of the biggest problems with left and right in media is we cannot admit when we are wrong. We can't admit when we're wrong.
I am so sorry. I saw when you posted it. I'm like, that's a bad picture.
I felt bad, bro. I felt bad. And
because you were wrong.
I never want to contribute to false news. I never want to contribute to false. I have a lot of individuals that actually, hit me up in my messenger because they won't go onto my wall. They will not comment. No way my boss might see it. So they message me and they say, hey, actually, Chris, in regards to that post you just made, here's what I've, and then I fact check their fact checks. Because what fact checks are real these days, right? Yeah. This one was obvious. Yeah. This was a tampered photo.
You can't even trust Wikipedia anymore.
You can't. You cannot.
Wikipedia.
Right.
No.
So here's what I'm saying. If I can showcase to individuals how to be wrong, right? We have to start going back to knowing when we're wrong and how to express when we're wrong. Otherwise, it's just we're never going to find any sort of common ground. Left versus right, right versus left. Now, here's where I'm going with this. I want to go back to Amy Coney Barrett. A lot of individuals cannot admit how impressive she is.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. I have this. So we now know that as of Monday, she is now sitting on the Supreme Court, and we still have how many Supreme Court members as of now, Saulo?
Ocho? Nueve.
We now have nueve. So we have not yet packed the court. Okay. We're still at 9, right? We're still at 9. They're saying it's 6-3. We got 6 individuals on the Supreme Court that are of conservative values.
Let me ask you a question, bro.
Okay.
You keep saying this. This is, I think, one of the problems in all of us, not just you, but
mostly me.
Yeah, mostly you.
Yeah.
You keep saying we.
Yeah, we.
Them. I think that's the problem lately. Because when you talk about politics, well, our side, their side, and that, I think that contributes. Do you guys think that? And I do that sometimes.
You guys say I'm part of the problem?
Yeah, you.
Say it to my face.
Say it to my face.
Say it to my face.
Let him have a taste of the glory. But I think that's the problem nowadays, that we're talking, and our side, and...
Hold on. When I say we, I'm referring to Mexicans.
Okay, that's good.
So I got, I've been asked, and it's an email. I don't have time to pull it up right now, but I got asked by a very important Mexican to say, hey, can you just speak on our behalf? So that's when I say we.
You're the representative.
Who built the cages, Joe?
Let's talk about what
Who built the cages, Joe?
Okay, so you want to get me off track, but I want to talk about Amy Coney Barrett.
Continue.
You got to let me, bro. So we got to talk about why she is so impressive and why individuals can't help. So we understand that Feinstein, who is one of the senators, she's the speaker on behalf of California. She and Kamala Harris currently are the Senate. She actually hugged she hugged Lindsey Graham at the end of the hearings whenever they were, going through the process of Amy Coney Barrett. And she actually admitted, like, she was a very impressive woman. Now, she got a lot of heat for that. A lot of the Democrats, a lot of the liberals were upset that she admitted that Amy Coney Barrett was impressive. So I have this 2-minute clip. It's actually the one that is going to be.
Let's get it here.
Yeah, you got it, bro.
Oh, wait, which one? Which one?
It is Kamala MP4 right there. So I want you guys to watch this. It's just about a minute long, and then we're going to talk about it.
Oh my goodness! Look at this. Hold on. Let me just
stand by,
because we are trying to. Okay. Oh.
You got it.
And
Do you accept that COVID-19 is infectious?
I think, yes, I do accept that COVID-19 is infectious, that's something of which I feel like, we could say you take judicial notice of. It's an obvious fact, yes.
Do you accept that smoking causes cancer?
I'm not sure exactly where you're going with this, but, the notice that smoking
just a
causes...
question. The question is what it is. You can answer it if you believe yes or no.
Senator Harris, yes, every package of cigarettes warns that smoking causes cancer.
And do you believe that climate change is happening and is threatening the air we breathe and the water we drink?
Senator, again, I was wondering where you were going with that. You have asked me a series of questions that are completely uncontroversial, like whether COVID-19 is infectious, whether smoking causes cancer, and then trying to analogize that to eliciting an opinion on me that is a very contentious matter, opinion from me that is on a very contentious matter of public debate. And I will not do that. I will not express a view on a matter of public policy, especially one that is politically controversial, because that's inconsistent with the judicial role, as I have explained.
Thank you, Judge Barrett. And you've made your point clear that
Wow.
Brainiac.
So, okay, did you just get a vibe that like a mother was talking to her daughter? Like, does Amy and she's not doing it on purpose, but you gotta respect that it's. How do you listen to this?
I already asked Dad. Now, what do you say? Yeah, that type.
Okay, sweetie, I thought you were going there with this.
Yeah.
Okay, sweetie, and so I will not. I'm just like, dude, it is class. And sometimes you have to actually understand, just her composure, her context.
Yeah.
I mean, this was not the opening sentiment of the hearing, right? So she had been, beat up. I mean, we're talking a lot of Democrat people asking her questions, but she kept her composure every time, and she just keeps her, okay, I thought you were going there, right?
And she's so calm, like, I know what you're trying to do.
I know what you're trying to do.
I know what you're trying to do. I'm not going to go there. I'm not going to let myself go there.
Imagine, dude,
You're
if
gonna
Amy
confirm
Coney
me.
Barrett were, from the southeast side of San Antonio, she'd be like, hey, yo, Kamala, catch me outside. How about that?
Catch you outside.
Catch me outside. How about that?
Yeah, I see you after school.
Oh, dude. Speaking of catch me outside, how about that? I want to, we're going to talk about Amy Coney Barrett, but Saulo, we skipped something.
What would it skip?
There is the $1,000 giveaway that we were doing last podcast.
That is so true.
And we actually,
okay, hold on.
We went through, there were 3 people that turned in a video. And so just have that video ready. We're gonna play that. We're gonna play that. So Kamala Harris, golly, I'm sorry for the day that you actually had to talk with Amy Coney Barrett, because I feel like she just completely schooled her and a lot of other individuals. We are proud. We as the Hispanic community are proud that we have a Supreme Court justice that believes in values that we believe in. So,
and you know what's crazy, bro? That as we talk now, it's hard, because even when I want to talk about some conservative issues that I favor or about Amy, it sounds or feels, or the optics are that I'm talking against a group or some other people. It's like you can't talk in favor of Amy now, because remember you put some letters, Amy CB or what was
ACB.
it? Yeah, and some people got offended because you're admiring her. It's like if one day I say, you know what, Chris is amazing.
Yeah.
Just by saying that, that's like an aggression or a microaggression for somebody else.
By validating me, Saulo, you're validating Trump, right? So it's interesting that we categorize people to a point where, hey, you support ChrisCano, he supports Trump, you support Trump, you support Amy Coney Barrett, then you support biblical values. We're just everything is a brand now, right? If you wear that brand, then you represent what they stand for. Yeah. And so we're talking about single issue voters, right? And we're talking a little bit about whether or not single issue voting is a good thing, a bad thing. But there's a lot of single issue matters that actually occur, right? So if we talk about the Cancer Foundation, because you were talking about your example a second ago, are we mad at Cancer Foundation because they only believe in curing cancer? what about all the other diseases,
Exactly.
Saulo?
Yeah, yeah.
What about all the other diseases out there, right? You know, so we have to understand what single issue.
A few weeks ago, or a week ago, I was with this guy. He's a pro-life guy, right?
Okay.
And we got to sit down before he did a presentation. Check out what he said. Check out this phrase. It kind of messed me up. He says, I'm pro-life from the womb to the tomb.
Wow.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because if they say, "Oh, you're pro-life," but what about the kids that don't have a mom? Like, we're pro-life.
Well, so I got to stop you, bro. You're not a woman, so you can't
I have
talk.
no right. I
You-
have no
you can't.
right.
So here's okay.
You're
So this is
canceling me.
you know, this is a sensitive subject, even for a controversial dude like me. Understanding first and foremost, for those of you guys who aren't watching this podcast and maybe you listen to it later, you're driving down the road, you're on I-35. This voice that you're hearing, and Saulo, give him an audio test.
About what?
Okay, that's good enough. We are both dudes. What you just heard right then and there were two dudes.
Sorry.
So we want to let you guys know that we are sorry for the opinion that we're about to talk about right now.
We don't know.
We don't know.
I don't have chiches.
Yeah.
Well, I have
well,
chiches,
you do.
but
You do. You
differently.
need to work out. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Chiche wangas.
Here's the thing is we know where we stand.
Yeah.
We know who we are. We know who we're not. But we can still have a healthy discussion. I actually had a healthy discussion with one of my friends who works here in the office. I was leaving work at 6 p.m. She was still here, and we just started talking about politics. We started talking about Amy Coney Barrett, which when you talk about Amy Coney Barrett, what always gets brought up? Roe versus Wade. She's going to overturn it, Saulo. Can you believe that? And so we're lumping in, abortions, and then it gets into who's pro-life and who's pro-choice for this election. So when we talk about single voting or single issue voters, my biggest single issue is pro-life.
Yep.
I first and foremost will always stand behind the candidate who is all about life.
Why? Why would you say you're strong in that topic?
Okay, so that's a good discussion. So let me give you a pretty broad answer that a lot of Christians should be thinking about, because there's a lot of churches out there that aren't really taking a stand in one way or the other.
Yeah.
And that's okay. What you have to know is one day you're going to stand before the judgment throne. And so as a Christian, I think, or I'm hoping that as a Christian, we can all agree with, we will have to stand before God and talk about what we did do and what we didn't do.
Yeah.
And based on where the Holy Spirit moves you and the convictions that you have, how did you act upon it, right? So I am convicted that nobody is speaking as loudly on behalf of the 63 million babies that have been aborted.
Yeah.
And I feel like, and so let me actually go a step further. Whenever I have a presentation coming up, Saulo, I like to, at least have bullet points and prepare for what I'm going to say, right?
Yeah.
So I'm actually doing this in preparation for Judgment Day. Have you done
wow.
that?
Wow.
Have you ever just kind of prepared like the questions that God's going to ask you?
Yeah, to make your case.
To make your case.
Make your
right?
case. Yeah.
And I do that as an exercise to say, wow, I don't have a case.
Yeah.
Wow, I don't have an answer. I'm hoping God doesn't ask me this because I don't have an answer for it.
I just stood by. That's
That's
disgusting.
Well, God, I posted something on Facebook, and I got about 30 likes, and I lost about 11 friends, and
I was a martyr.
I was a martyr. Yeah.
I became a martyr because I lost likes.
So here's the thing, a lot of people who talked about, whether or not you stand for pro-life, I almost wonder back in the 1800s where you would have stood in regards to being like anti-slavery. Because, when something gets normalized, which back then slavery was normalized, would you have just stood by, right?
Yeah,
so if you're a true like abolitionist and you truly do believe in anti-slavery, then, kind of where does your voice kind of stop in regards to life and putting the value on life? Because that was the same issue back then, right? Is they didn't put value on life and they didn't care. You're this color or you're that color. You don't matter as much. You do matter as much. So, I consider myself to be an abolitionist, and it's actually waking up. My spirit is waking up, and I'm preparing for this question that God's going to ask me. What did you do about feeling convicted about standing by? Chris, I've given you a voice. I'm giving you a platform. I'm giving you friends like Saulo who have media understanding. What are you going to do to help, bring a discussion?
And the problem is with the church, this is my irritation with the church sometimes, is that we're working on the back end. Right. We see all these problems, and then they go to church, and we try to help them in their problems instead of being proactive and getting involved before the problems arise.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I think that happens in all the issues in politics. And like, can the church or us get involved before the bad things happen?
Right.
Or are we too, we hide behind the word of, we just got to love everybody and let them be. Like, wow.
No,
wow.
I couldn't agree more. And so let me be clear. When I talk about voting the Bible, I have people in my family, I have people in my very close circle who have had abortions. you know, and it doesn't make you any different than other sinners.
Yeah.
You know, we all sin. You know, we all have our lifestyles. We all, you know, fall short every day. And that's why, you know, we believe that God sent his son to die on the cross for our sins. And so this isn't a shame thing. You know, it's a discussion. We're trying to bring a discussion to a platform to say, hey, have we normalized something? You know, one thing that I truly believe from my convictions is the only thing that can match God's love for us is God's wrath for us.
Yeah.
And, you know, I do believe that we have to have that understanding that we are taking something that is very worth discussing and we're normalizing it. So, you know, I grew up in a family where my dad used to protest at abortion clinics, and my dad's goal,
Really?
my dad didn't think that he was going to shut down Planned Parenthood. But my dad was like, maybe one girl that's going to walk in today will see my poster and will just think for 7 more seconds, like, what should I do in this situation? And maybe she, you know, opts to having the child. Now, there's a lot of different forms we can go in this in regards to, you know, what is, you know, life and when does life begin? Is it, you know, at, you know, in inception? Is it at, you know, a heartbeat? Is it at lungs?
You have an opinion?
Well, yeah, I have an opinion. But, you know, before I input my opinion, let's get on a platform real quick, Saulo. Should I have to defend why it's necessary for something to live, or should somebody have to defend why it's important to kill it? Why do pro-lifers catch themselves having to defend why it's important for something to live? Don't you think more pro-choicers, you know, and so, and aside from just the fact that it's, you know, my body, my choice, which, you know, to be very honest with you, that does kind of bother me.
Yeah.
Right? That is a very, I think, selfish statement, because it's still your body when the baby's out of the womb, and the baby requires on your breast milk for, you know, nutrition and nourishment. So are you still going to use that same statement, my body, my choice?
I can't feed you because it's my body.
My body, my choice. Come on.
Yeah.
You know, and if it is your body, if it's one body, are you telling me that when you have a baby in the womb, you got, you know, 20 fingers, 20 toes? And if you have a boy in your body, woo, what is that? What else do you got?
Yeah.
But, oh, that's an interesting, you know. So, you know, there's just a lot of different ways we can go. And
Let me ask you this. Is that your most important issue?
Yes.
Completely.
Because if you can't stand up for life, what else does the government have the opportunity to take from you in the future? If we let them kind of control the idea that, you know, abortion is so normal, what other laws can they make normal? Now, a lot of people would say, okay, Chris, let me argue you on this point. Isn't the government regulating more by putting laws against abortion, right? And I've heard people talk about, you know, if they make it more difficult for people to have abortion, then, you know, girls are going to go back and do it themselves and things like that, right? So there's a lot of discussions like that.
I told somebody the other day, because they were telling me they were telling me that the government shouldn't impose what we want to do.
Okay.
And I put sarcastically, I don't know, should have done that. I hate stop signs and red lights, because I just want to drive hard and fast wherever I want to go. I hate that the government is imposing on me wanting to go fast.
Yeah, you can't say that.
Right? It sounded bad.
But
what I'm saying is that there are some guidelines to protect you and protect others.
Yeah.
So there's some guidelines.
Eric says we need to fix our adoption system, and more people need to step up and adopt.
We're pro-life.
We're talking
pro-life from womb to tomb.
We're now talking. So, you know,
let me ask you. Okay, so let me.
Well, people are saying, you know, this is a healthcare issue, but, you know, there's also birth control. You know, there are other things that can help with now, you know, here's a thing that should maybe be discussed. We just discovered recently that there's a couple of states that allow, you know, 13 and 14-year-olds to have abortions, right, at any age. And, you know, not just once, but they're going back a second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh time, right? So they're not even treating abortion like a last option.
Yeah.
It's now the option. It's now the thing where, you know what, I got pregnant, I'm going to go out.
Convenience.
It's so convenient. So, and a lot of people say, no, it's not convenient. It actually does a lot of damage, and it does a lot of, you know, then why do we keep doing it?
Yeah.
The one thing I can't argue on is if we're doing something that causes so much pain and emotional distress, then why do we keep doing it? So let's start somewhere. What's the worst case scenario, and then can we work backwards?
And you know why it's hard, Chris, talking about this topic? Because
Tell me.
when we're talking about abortion, you're saying it's wrong. Then maybe somebody listening has had an abortion or is thinking about it and may feel, they're going against my feelings. And if you've had an abortion, and sometimes when we men talk about it, or other people will talk bad about abortion, and you're suffering the consequences of abortion. We're sorry that it may feel like that. I will tell you this, that we serve a God that heals all wounds.
Amen.
Because sometimes we talk about this topic and we may sound inconsiderate.
Yeah.
But we're not talking about that aspect.
Not at all.
Yeah, you know what I mean? But it's hard sometimes to talk about it.
You know, so I was sharing with somebody the other day, like, you know, I grew up just an adolescent. May I remind us all that I was a 10-year submarine sailor. I was a pretty rowdy guy. And, you know, so not just from people who are maybe going through abortion, who've had an abortion, but also from a sentiment of just sin in general. You know, anytime you talk about somebody and it's convicting, you know, it's something that's kind of uncomfortable to speak about. But more importantly, a discussion is essential. And what we're talking about, you know, self-censorship, why people don't want to talk it up because, oh, maybe my friend or maybe, you know, so what responsibilities do we have as Christians to say, can we talk about it, right? And so churches are making it difficult. You know, there's this thing called Johnson Law where churches can't really go on one side or the other. So they're very neutral.
The Johnson Amendment.
The Johnson Amendment. So the one thing that we actually, you know, need more than ever right now is we need church, and we're looking for guidance, and we're asking, you know, our, you know, religious political figures, or not political, our religious figures, you know, to give us some political advice on where we stand and where, you know, to process our feelings and what the scripture says about a lot of this stuff, and they're not.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah, go.
Okay, so we're talking about abortion, let's say. That's an issue. That's your most important issue.
That is my single issue.
Yeah, okay. Can I say that you feel so strongly about this particular issue that you're willing to tolerate the deficiencies of that particular leader and or the deficiencies on how they address other issues?
Well, you almost have to. So when you talk about single issue voting, you know, it's basically creating a list of all the things that you want to see happen in your country. And, you know, so it's prioritizing things. Now, if my main priority is pro-life, and then, you know, I have 10 things that I look for in a good president and a good ticket, and they don't meet the other 9. Right? I have to kind of ask, like, you know, you know, obviously I have to process essentially what it is. Are there Democrats that are pro-life? Absolutely.
Yeah, of course.
Absolutely.
But that's not, to some, that's not the most important issue.
That's not the most important issue for them. And that is where our country is fighting. We're fighting right now because people are talking about diversity. People are talking about civil rights. And what's important to you, it doesn't mean it's not important to me. It's just not my most important thing. But can we still have a Diet Coke and get a bowl of menudo?
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Absolutely. Now, I recommend Sprite with menudo, right?
What?
Right?
That's the diarrhea waiting to happen.
Dude, you're dumb. So first off, you're eating menudo because you're probably hungover. Sprite is the drink of being hungover, if you didn't know that already. Sprite is also if you twist your ankle, if you have a tummy ache.
That or Vicks.
Vicks and Sprite.
That's
you can't
forget the doctor.
have one with.
Who built the cages, Joe?
Let's talk about
Who built the cages?
Wow.
Joe?
So single issue voting, some of the people that have commented leading up to this podcast were talking about economics. And you know, economics is important. It's absolutely important. What do you think about economics as a most important issue in this election?
Oh, yeah, of course, because a lot of sometimes, not all of them, a big percentage of the decisions people are taking in regards to violence and the way they treat other people is because they get frustrated with their economics.
Yep.
The rate of divorce and home violence is up because of the shutdown and because it's affecting their economy, and they're getting frustrated and they're taking it out on their kids.
Now, let me ask you, Salo, you're a perfect guest for this podcast, because do people who don't pay their taxes care that Biden is increasing taxes?
No, not at all.
Yeah, so you don't care.
No. And I don't have a job. Bro, you don't.
Saulo is like, man, I need a president who's not going to raise our taxes. And I'm like, Saulo, well, you don't. Yeah, I mean, okay, well, assuming you pay your taxes, right? That's obviously a thing. So, you know, I think somebody posted something the other day, and I haven't fact checked this, so I need to fact check it. But they were talking about, like, on page 50 on page 50 of Biden's tax plan is where you start to discover that, you know, there's a lot of things that are in the tax bracket in regards to being up to 60%, right? And some people are saying, well, that's only for people who are making an income of over $400,000. That's not applicable. Keep in mind, guys, that a lot of people who you may work for make over $400,000. A lot of capitalists, a lot of business owners, a lot of individuals that employ people, you know, tend to find themselves in the higher tax bracket. So the question that gets opened up essentially is, you know, punishing entrepreneurs and not punishing. I shouldn't say punishing because it's not, you know, but it's
making them pay their fair share.
Making them pay their fair
Bro,
share.
you know what? I please help me out, because I don't have a complete thought on this, but I hate when people get mad that the rich are getting richer.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean that the poor are getting poorer because the rich are getting richer. It's like, I hustle, I make more money, and you're pissed because you're being lazy and I'm making more money. Now, that's one. The other thing is, for example, just one example, and I have an incomplete thought on this, But when somebody said, like Jeff Bezos, right? Somebody was complaining. Amazon has some bodegas, storage places here.
Right.
And there's a lot of Mexicans and blacks that are employed by this large company.
Yeah.
So if you want to tax him or penalize him or whatever, you're going to penalize them as well because you know what? We're trying to keep up or whatever.
Yep.
Yeah, and you affect them, you affect the chain. You know, I don't know. I don't know.
So, you're kind of, hitting the nail on the head right there, Saulo. So what you have to think about is essentially if you're in a family and you got your mom and your dad and there's, 10 of you brothers and sisters, you brothers and sisters start complaining saying dad makes more money than us. So you start going into his wallet, right? Because there needs to be more of a fair share. So we have to trust our dad to take care of us and put food on our table, pay our bills. I want my dad to have my money, right?
Yeah,
so, and I'm not saying that we have to think of about that in regards to capitalism, but in the sense that a lot of capitalists, they're not these Jeff Bezos that people are like, man, you're just wanting to make more money. Monopoly. No. A lot of entrepreneurs want to, pay their fair share of taxes. And we talk about fair share. Fair share comes in the terms of percentage. Fair share isn't a higher percentage, right? I mean, that's so crazy to me that, certain tax brackets, okay, you're going to pay a little less because you make less. You're going to pay a little more because you make more. A fair share would be, okay, everybody pays 40%. Everybody pays 30%. Everybody, whatever the bracket is, that's a fair share. And so you kill the American dream whenever you say, if you start making X amount of dollars, you're going to pay 65% in taxes. A lot of these entrepreneurs are going to take their business elsewhere. They're taking it offshores. They're finding other ways to do it. You're crippling their ability to actually give people pay raises because now they're having to focus more on paying taxes. And for those of you all who are for paying more taxes, you blow my mind. You blow my mind in so many different ways, right? We've gone so far from the Boston Tea Party, and whenever this was an actual important issue to individuals, you are basically saying, I want my boss or I want, these capitalists to pay more. What do you think that's going to do for your pay? That's going to affect you. If they're paying more in taxes, they're not paying their employees more.
Yeah.
Right? They're not growing a more successful company and a more successful
You're going to handicap their ability to grow and bless you.
And you're saying that you trust the government with the money. So keep in mind, where does the money go? The money goes to the government. And we're saying the government knows what to do best.
Let me ask you this. Were you ever in favor of the flat tax?
Whoa, you're calling me out. I don't know what is the flat tax?
The flat tax, everybody pays the same thing, the same percentage?
No, I'm for it.
You are?
I don't know.
I was.
The name of it. You sold me on the
Who
title of the
was
book.
it? Oh man, somebody ran for president.
Reaganomics?
No, the guy from Texas, big ear guy. He talked like this.
Ross Perot.
He was. I think he was flat tax guy.
Maybe.
Anyway,
I don't know.
Bro, it's crazy. Look at this.
Yeah. Oh man.
What the heck?
Anyways.
Anyway.
Okay.
So when are you voting? Oh look. Aaron Roberts, flat tax.
Flat tax.
Amanda Martin says exactly. Agreed. I'm stunned how many women who have had a baby still support abortion. Bro, I don't understand that.
Yeah. So there. I mean, it is definitely a discussion. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to post a link at the end of this podcast to a couple of links on some videos that I've been listening to, and it's just really good discussion. Whether you believe or whether you don't believe, whether you're a Christian, whether you're not a Christian, whether you're pro-life, pro-choice. I've had a lot of pro-choice individuals send me a lot of links, and please do, guys. Please message me. Please comment, text me. This is a forum for us to have a healthy discussion.
Yes,
it's not
please.
Me shoving a red pill down your throat, right? So we want to make sure that we're looking at both sides and having discussions. I definitely appreciate all comments. Keep it classy, San Diego, of course, right? Yeah.
Bro, there's a girl in this building.
Yeah.
In this building. I'm not going to call her out.
Yeah.
But that she has had an abortion.
Yeah.
And she's been telling me that whenever I want to interview her on live to talk about her experience.
Yeah.
And how her mind has changed.
Yeah.
And how God dealt with the guilt and the pain and generational pain.
Sure.
Oh, my goodness. Impressive.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll bring her up on.
Yeah.
But anyway.
No, that'd be
interesting.
good.
Interesting. Because, like what I'm saying, we're talking about abortion and we're not females. I'm not. I don't know, Chris. But
no, I'm not.
It may sound inconsiderate sometimes. And I'm sorry about that because we're talking about an issue. But if you're going through something, God bless you. Talk to God. If you need somebody, we'll be willing to talk. But that's why I mentioned this girl, because she went through it, and she says, I'm willing to share my experience so other people can learn.
So the issue is, Saulo, so I think it was, I forget her name, Michelle something. Man, I should have had this prepared. So it was an actress. It's the girl. Anyways. Michelle Williams, maybe. Okay, so anyway, she's a Golden Globe. She wins, I think it was like January, February this year. She's going up for her acceptance speech. She's about to be given a Golden Globe. And she uses the platform as an opportunity to talk about pro-choice, right? And she talked about, in the making of this movie, how I guess she had become pregnant. And because she, and I'm going to misquote her, but, this was kind of the gist. because she had the ability to choose when to have a family, she was standing on that stage today. So the way I interpret that is because she was able to terminate the baby, she is up here receiving a Golden Globe. We have swapped out human life for a Golden Globe. Now, what message does that give to anybody who's a fan of this actress, 14, 15-year-olds watching is if you want to succeed in your career, don't
let life interrupt.
Don't let life interrupt that, right? Now, granted, it was meant to be a empowering speech and everything else. And I'm just saying, whenever you have a microphone, when you have influence, whenever you're a role model, whether you choose to be or not choose to be, you need to make sure that you're careful with your words in regards to how, young, impressionable minds are interpreting that.
Yeah.
If you want a Golden Globe, take control of your life, even if that means, ending one. And, it's such a power play, right? When you have the ability to terminate something, there's so much power there that you're being given, my body, my choice. So we just need to make sure that we're careful in regards to the platforms that we have. Now, Saulo, because we're running out of time and we got a lot of things to still cover, we may run a little bit over, which, okay cool. So we started a little late. We have a lot of early voters right now. You brought this up to me. Yeah. And, a lot of them are actually registered Democrat. And so when we first started the show, you were talking about how you're concerned, right? Every now and then you're like, the red wave is coming. And then you're like, oh, no.
We're underwater. Right? We're underwater.
So I think it was Carter who was running against Reagan. And a lot of Democrats, and so not to get too far off track, but, there hasn't been a lot of grassroots excitement since Obama. Obama actually really spun up the country in a big way, right? You saw Obama campaigning in his first campaign. There were a lot of individuals getting out, going on the streets. You walk up and down hallways and Obama stickers and change. And I mean, dude, he got it. You didn't see the same thing with Mitt Romney, right? Mitt Romney was really kind of missing that mark. So you got an early voter turnout with Obama, and there was a lot of individuals that came out, and there was a lot of hype and excitement. We're seeing that a little bit with Trump right now, right? A lot of people are getting excited with Trump. But we hadn't seen this since also going back to the Carter-Reagan days. A lot of people were excited to get out and early vote. And so because there were a lot of registered Democrats that were going out, what we didn't know is that those Democrats were voting for Reagan, right? Wow. So the early polls showing Democrats voting early were voting Republican, Saulo. We got early. Okay, so let me just get you into this frame of mind, Saulo. These Democrats that are getting out and voting, they're voting for Donald J. Trump. They are going to go and get Donald J. Trump in office. Thank you to all my Democrat Republicans out there. All the Democrats that are like, hey, man, it's been too long, man. It's time for us to actually stand up. I will be silent no more, right? I'm going to take my Biden-Harris sign, I'm going to throw it away, and I'm going to replace it with Trump, right? So, so it's a bit extreme.
Yeah.
But just keep in mind.
Bro, you just encouraged me.
Bro, I'm saying, dude, we saw the same thing. The stats.
And then the Republicans are getting off of work. And then they're going to vote on Tuesday.
You went there.
Sorry, anyway. Sorry.
But that's a fun one to say, though.
Hey,
I like that.
Aaron says the choice in life needs to occur before the baby arrives.
Yeah.
Hey, Edith says do the Donald.
Right. So we're gonna.
Are you a good dancer?
Yeah, I'm a great dancer.
Really?
And because I'm a great dancer, I can't do the Donald because the Donald is not a great dance. It's the dance where you pump your fist but you don't move your feet, right? I don't know a lot of people who have a dance that doesn't require moving their feet. It's like a little bit of a knee shift.
How is it? Okay.
And it's go. you so you don't move the feet, right? You move the knees. Every now and then you point to somebody in the stands, right? Because you know them. Oh, there's my cousin. There's my Tio Riche. There's my Tio Eddie. What's up, guys? The excitement is he was just in Arizona, I think, or Little Rock, Round Rock, something rock in Arizona. Air Force One lands. Everybody gets jazzed up in Air Force One. A lot of people are coming out.
Right after COVID?
And right after COVID, man, we're like 3 or 4 days away from the election. And what they're saying right now is the best thing Trump could be doing is dance. Donald Trump,
how strong he is.
Dance, bro. He's got that YMCA dance down. One of the guys from YMCA, the Village People, came out and said, "Stop using our song." I think it was the police. I think it was the police guy. The police guy was pissed.
Don't dance to our song.
Yeah, he said, "Stop using our song," as if Donald cares.
Look, Brittany LaBrute says, "I love it."
YMCA, right? So the best thing he can do, leading all the way up to Tuesday, is keep dancing, Donald. Keep dancing, bro. The world. The sad part about all of this left versus right, blue versus red, is we're missing an opportunity to really understand how funny our president is. If
Yeah.
people could just chill for a second, you realize how funny Donald is, bro. He's so. He said in the last election or debate, Joe, I know wind. I know wind better than anybody. I know wind more than you, Joe. And you kind of wonder, does he really believe that?
Yeah.
Does Donald really think he's the
I'm the
expert
least
on wind?
racist in this building,
I'm
he
the
says.
least racist
in this building. Like, wow.
He's either the most ultimate troll.
Yes, I think he is.
Or he's just, a little bit off. But either way, it's kind of funny.
And he says the lights are off. He says, so, I mean, I can't see because of the lights, but I'm the least racist.
I can't see.
Like if he's gonna see somebody in the back. Oh no, that guy.
Oh wait, no. After looking at that guy, actually,
After
I'm the
Lupe
second
in the
most
back.
racist.
Yeah, I got it.
I see a guy over there, right?
And because of the hate, I don't think people can see how trolling he is, how a joker he is.
Man,
because he knows.
Dude, we're missing out. We're truly missing out. So, Saulo, I am excited for Tuesday. I'm confident for Tuesday.
Wow, confident.
But
That's a good word.
should we, and we got a couple more segments, but should we kind of close this part out in saying that come Wednesday, what does it look like? Do you think we have a do we have it figured out by Wednesday?
No.
You don't think we have it figured out by Wednesday?
I don't think so.
You think the anxiety? Can you imagine what is work going to be like next week if there's anxiety Wednesday, Thursday, Friday?
I bought my bulletproof vest already.
Oh man,
I did.
I need menudo.
I need menudo.
We're gonna
And Vicks.
So just a real quick statement to you nutritionists out there: give your people the week off next week. I told Marissa, come Tuesday, we're getting wings, we're getting pizza. I may just emotionally eat. I can't. I don't know how I'm going to.
Yeah.
You know how when they say, and this state goes to candidate Clinton, this state goes to candidate Trump, and this state, and it's the race to 270, and right, the electoral votes, and they're ticketing and you start doing it in your head, like, okay, if we get Florida, that puts us at 211, 220, and so Florida, you're watching Florida, it's 51% to 49, and then of course 5 o'clock rolls around and people get off work and they start going to vote red, and you're like, okay, we took over, and dude, your wings, and you just, so for Tuesday. You are allowed to eat 5,000 calories.
Thank you for your permission.
You are allowed. Menudo, fun fact, has 4,000 calories.
Depending on the bowl.
Depending on the bowl, right? And of course, we're talking about what is it? What's the bowl you make guacamole in?
Molcajete.
Molcajete.
Molcajete. Mira, look at this. Look at this right there.
I'll make menudo for everyone at the office. Mom,
Rosie,
Mama Rosie, coming through. Mom, we need menudo. Now, my mom's menudo is on another level.
I don't believe it. I don't believe it. I'm like doubting Thomas unless I put my hand in there. Look, Amanda says y'all all hilarious. I love it.
We love you. Amanda's actually we grew up in a very conservative church together. So Amanda is part of the family that was the principal and the pastor. So she knows where I come from. She knows my heart. I know her heart. This interesting thing is essentially like conservatives find each other, and we stay. I don't talk to Amanda much. She still comes through our office every now and then because she works for an organization that we use to help. With the food. She's part of the truck. The food truck that we have. Yeah. Amanda's part of that. But we never lose sight of each other, right?
Sean?
Yeah.
I have never had menudo, but yours will be the first one I would try.
Oh,
man.
All right, Rosie, you're getting called out. You need to make sure you come through. We have a winner.
That's true.
I owe $1,000. I promised $1,000 to whoever could do the best crip walk that we played. So we played the video 2 weeks ago about a guy who was crip walking, total joy, right? So this is the dance that I expect everybody to do Wednesday.
Wednesday morning.
If your candidate wins or not, right? We are going to restore. We are going to restore the country with our culture. So Latino community. Although we know that Greg Popovich is hurting our city, although we know we may not agree with the mayor that we currently have right now, Latinos in San Antonio, rise up.
Preach!
And come Wednesday, this is how you will dance. Let's see what we got. Dude, I gotta tell you,
I have no rhythm, bro.
I love Brittany. I love her.
The first day I came into this building for an event, one of my favorite pictures I've ever taken is she saying hi to you.
Yeah.
with her smile like this, all excited
Dude,
and happy.
she
Best
is
picture.
a ball of joy.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm seeing her today. She's I'm not gonna spoil, but she's coming out. She's coming to our office today. I'm excited to have her here. And so, congratulations, Brittany. You've won $1,000 from the ChrisCano podcast.
$1,000.
Now, what you do with it, whether you decide to buy everybody menudo or el típico, we would appreciate it. So,
Or purchase some votes. All stupid. Hey, did you hear, bro? Did you hear? Let's go. We don't have a gossip segment.
Yeah.
But did you hear what happened? You know Project Veritas?
no,
You never heard of Project Veritas?
No.
They find out, and with hidden cameras, they've outed the Democratic Party. They've outed CNN, like in hidden cameras.
okay, yes,
Okay.
yes,
They did one here in San Antonio
yeah.
for voter fraud.
Oh, good.
Yeah. It was
Yeah. What they find out?
that somebody has been harvesting votes, buying votes, purchasing votes,
Hey, so
convincing people to vote.
I don't know if that's a good thing.
Nope.
Because you know, I have a couple of uncles who aren't allowed to vote, but they did, right? And I think they got away with it.
Probably voted Democrat.
Yeah, no, they Republican.
I have
Yeah.
4 tios that passed away some years ago. They're voting
They're
Democrat.
voting. Yeah,
It's
okay,
weird.
So
It's crazy.
You know, so. Anyways, get off these tracks. We were supposed to talk this week, Saulo, about relationships, and I want to close out with this. You and Edith, and I don't. Did you ever get that video? Did we download it? No, we didn't download it.
No,
It's
no,
okay.
no.
I was like, we'll play it next time. You and Edith obviously agree on your candidate. You know, you guys lift each other up. You post some really aggressive things, and I'm like, whoa, Saulo's really edgy here. And then you see Edith come along, and she's like, I love you, Saulo. She's always the first to comment. Bro, she supports your troll.
Yeah, she does.
She supports your troll. It's so cute. But, you know, my sweetheart does as well, right? And so the beautiful thing about Marissa is, you know, Marissa is completely rooted herself. Calm down. Okay, sorry.
Oh, hey.
Calm down, bro. So Marissa completely is rooted in her beliefs, and Marissa has actually been fasting, and here's why I'm the luckiest man in the world, because I'm marrying her October 2021. For those of you out there watching this and still tuned in, save the date, October 2021. It's important for you all to know that we're getting married that month, but you're not invited, of course.
Let's just put it on your
But
calendar.
just put it on your calendar and think about us. No, I'm just kidding. You're not invited because it's in Italy, and so there's only going to be about 50 to 60 of us going out there. And we're starting to plan our wedding. And, you know, the one thing that's making me fall more in love with Marissa is, you know, her beliefs and how to apply her beliefs. And I just really think it's exciting whenever you have a husband and a wife that, you know, have these discussions on the dinner table. I always wondered what it was like to have a polar opposite, right? So you believe in this and I believe in this. Well, what did you know, so I would assume that if you're a husband or you're a wife that votes one way and the other votes the other, that you just don't talk about it to your kids. And then I wonder who gets to kind of, you know, coach the kids or, you know, speak about the kids. And then what church do you go to, you know? And so there's a lot of, but whenever two people can kind of come to an agreement on, you know, what our family, you know, stands for. So you have the video pulled up now.
Yeah,
So
I
check this cool video out. Saulo is, of course, a movie star. He's in it, but let's see it real quick.
In the last election, over 100 million registered voters did not vote. Don't sit this one out.
Wow.
Voting.
Vote.
Vote. As simple as that.
As simple as that. That's, I mean, it's such a cool illustration. I think they did a great job shooting this commercial in regards to, you know, understanding that there are some households that don't believe in the same thing. Now, I'm going to total showcase, you know, Marissa here, and because it's going to lead us into our next podcast, which is relationships. And by the time we do our next podcast, we'll have had an elected president.
What topic or you're going to talk about? Because there's a plethora of things you can talk about relationships.
Sure,
Is there a particular area you want?
Absolutely. We're going to talk about relationships that have different beliefs and relationships that have common beliefs and how we overcome those things. And you know, so, you know, kind of to that point when my dad met my mother was a Baptist, you know, my mother was a Catholic. So they kind of had to come to an agreement on, okay, well, what church are we going to go to and how are we going to, you know, and so I just want to kind of talk about that in regards to, it's more data for me, Saulo, as I'm about to get married. I'm basically asking how not to be a dum-dum of a husband, right? Like,
it's
please.
good to learn from your mistakes. It's a lot better to learn from other people's mistakes.
So, right. So I want to learn from some of y'all. Now, I'm blessed to have a girl who loves our Lord and Savior. I'll actually, be very transparent with you all. Marissa and I have been together for over 4 years, and it wasn't until I found one of her journals one day, Saulo, where it wasn't her journal, it was my journal. It was a journal I used for taking notes, throughout the course of the day, and I stopped using it for a while. So Marissa took it. She started using it for her Bible notes. And I was straightening up one day looking for a book to write in, and I found this one, and she had taken over, and she had started writing her prayers in it. And one of the prayers, one of the most recent prayers, was her praying for me to draw closer to Christ. And it hit me. I said, man, I have a girl here who cares tremendously about my salvation, who cares tremendously about my walk with Jesus Christ. And it made me fall head over heels. More attracted to her. And, you start to wonder, where does this come from? And a lot of it comes from a family, right? So we did a 4-year anniversary video for Marissa. She just hit her 4 years here at Align Mortgage. And, her brother and her dad, said a couple of nice words. And it's about a 6-minute long video, but I'm only going to play 28 seconds of it real quick. So take a look at this real quick.
Okay, here we go.
Mine too, in the future, you're going to be successful, and you work really, really hard to be where you're at today. So just keep working hard, keep seeking God, and I love you.
Oh, Marissa, we're so proud of you.
Very proud of this.
You never cease to amaze us. For the longest time, I've been praying for you, that you'd be filled with the knowledge of God's will and the spiritual understanding, that you would have a walk worthy of Him, fully pleasing Him, being fruitful in every good work and increasing in the knowledge of God.
Mine too, in the future, you're going to be successful, and you work really, really hard to be where you're at today. So just keep working hard, keep seeking God.
Wow.
Oh, sorry, right there.
So, you can obviously sense you got her brother Micah, who's,
How many brothers? Two brothers.
She's got 3 brothers.
3 brothers.
Yeah, they strong Christian believers. You got her dad, who just speaks complete life over her. Her father is an unashamed Christian conservative. And so, setting a household with strong principles, actually produces strong fruit. And I'm a firm believer in, as for me and my house, we will serve the Lord. And Marissa grew up in a house where that was, in fact, the case. They did serve the Lord along with our household as well. So we're going to talk a lot about relationships and how relationships lead to fruit and how fruit leads to relationships.
And human love will not keep you together. Don't trust that too much. Last question.
Yeah.
I know it's a sensitive subject for many.
Oh, let's close out on a sensitive subject.
Because you said that girl and you grew up in a conservative household.
That girl?
Or that girl, somebody that commented, or was it a guy?
Marissa.
No, Sean. I don't know who it was.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, I thought you were like that girl, Marissa.
What's your costume for Halloween?
Man.
Did you ever dress up? I've never dressed up for Halloween.
I forgot about Halloween.
Tomorrow.
No, it's not.
Yes.
What's today?
The 30th.
Tomorrow's Halloween?
Yeah, my sister's the witch.
Are people paying attention? Do you guys, Saulo's wanting to know what you wear. The question should be, did you know tomorrow was Halloween?
People pass them by.
Bro, I need to get my head out of media. And I'm so political right now.
Yeah. Your almanac is messed up.
If Donald Trump is not doing a campaign with a costume on, I forget it's Halloween, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Have you ever dressed up?
Yeah. I've dressed up. Yeah, man, dude.
For Halloween. For Halloween. Not your night job. No, I'm joking.
We were dressed up the other day. We were running around as dinosaurs around here. I love it.
That's true.
I think it's fun to dress up, man. It's important that you guys dress up. It's important you have a good time. Remember, right? So when we talk about voting the Bible, we talk about, Christian beliefs that, a lot of people are kind of, oh my goodness, you're pumping you're carving a pumpkin. I don't know that, Jesus really takes offense to people carving pumpkins solo. I think, the celebration of whatever it's about, but it's the weather's nice. Get out there and enjoy Halloween.
My hometown are fining people $1,000 if they go trick-or-treating.
Unreal. So the haunted house, the haunted house here in San Antonio is a thing that people do. What is it on Sunset? Yeah. Right. But dude, it's kind of gross because there's some parts where you're going through like really tight spaces and that there's been like 1,000 other Mexicans that have gone through it before you. So you're rubbing all over and you're sweating because it's hot inside. And so if there were ever COVID hot spots, if there was ever a COVID hotspot, just be careful when you go through the haunted house.
Ms.
in San
Rosie
Antonio.
Cano, can you get us that picture?
No.
She says that Chris
So
was
I didn't want to say
Pee Wee
it.
Herman.
Okay, let me just
when he
set the
was a little
record
boy.
straight.
Okay.
This was before Pee Wee Herman got weird, right? So,
But dressing
I
up as
didn't want to say it. I didn't want to say it.
Isn't dressing up as Pee Wee Herman weird itself?
Yes.
Okay,
Absolutely.
there we go.
Okay, now, because I had the hair that just flipped up in the front, bro, I actually, as a child, kind of looked like a Pee Wee Herman. I pulled the pants up high, but the thing is, I wore this costume for like 4 years. So every year I got taller, the pants got shorter, but my parents just had me continue to wear it. It was a gray suit with a red bow tie, and I would do the, right? Like, or whatever sound he would make. I don't remember. But
Are
then,
there pictures?
Bro, of
is
course
there
are.
evidence?
There's evidence. But let me just, come on, guys. It would be like, you know, when people used to dress up as Britney Spears before Britney Spears got weird. Like, there are some costumes that just, parents, you got to destroy those photos. We did not know Pee Wee Herman was going to become Pee Wee Herman. Yeah. Mom, please be careful if you share that photo.
My goodness.
yeah.
Okay, hold on. Let me see. I have my.
Okay, so we, oh my goodness. Look
This
at
is, my little boy's gonna get dressed.
Okay, Saulo. So, okay, before you post
Okay,
this,
go, continue.
what do you think Saulo's little boy, Amadito, adorable little baby. You guys, Saulo's a great father. Can I say that real quick, bro? You're a great father.
I love
bro.
my son.
Yeah,
I love my son.
If
I'm in
you
love.
ever met a baby where you're like, you know how all babies kind of look alike, and you're like, oh, cool, I have another baby. Yeah, let me touch it, or you can't touch it.
touch it.
But Saulo's baby, Amadito, he's adorable.
He's got his costume
Adorable.
ready. He's
And
got his costume ready.
He's got his costume ready. So
And
what do
yeah.
you think it's going to be?
Yeah.
Obviously.
His costume is ready, guys.
Obviously. Amadito is going to be the cutest. He will be the best baby.
Never seen this baby
He
before.
knows everything about formula. I invented formula. I am the reason formula works.
I've asked around. My poop smells better than anybody else's.
Now, the fact that you made your baby orange, it's just, you know, these parents, they went all out, bro.
Yeah.
They tanned the baby. We have to have a quick closed, you know, a thing here. It is not a good idea to spray tan your baby.
Nope.
So, you know, of course, we have to say that because we do have some Democrats watching who would
eat some
would go and
Tide Pods.
do some Tide Pods or inject themselves with
yeah.
it. Thank you guys for tuning to the Chris Cano podcast. We had fun with you all this morning. We hope you guys have a great Friday. Enjoy Halloween and vote. Unless you're Democrat, stay home. God bless you guys.